The United States has just suffered its worst strategic defeat since the Vietnam War, and this may even become worse, a bigger defeat than the Vietnam War. Well, Iran has, in just 40 days, emerged as a rising fourth center of world power. And those facts, those strategic facts, are represented by the fact that the United States and President Donald Trump have accepted, true as a basis for negotiation, but effectively have accepted a 10-point peace plan, which is all in favor of Iran, does not provide any strategic gain for any of the goals that the United States had before the war, and is doing nothing to reverse Iran's rising global power. Iran, of course, on the flip side, has gained the opposite. It has all of its enriched uranium. That is enough for 10 to 16 working nuclear weapons. It has effective control, and now effectively permanent control of the Straits of Hormuz, which means 20% of the world's oil. It can dictate the terms. And then over the months and years, it will be able to take that greater oil revenue, that greater power, and almost surely fashion nuclear weapons. There is not.
Breaking news, 21st of April at around 6:30 in the evening. Iran has confirmed this afternoon that they have told all of their allies to leave the country urgently. And 6:30 on the dot, the Israeli Air Force and the American Air Force are thundering towards Iran as we speak. So any moment now, they will be hitting targets. I will keep you updated as soon as I know more. Cheers.
Family, we're almost there. We are almost there. Things are getting worse every day. We gotta wake up. We still gotta wake up and do what we gotta do consistently. Some of us are not complaining. Some of us are, and some of us just don't see a way out, or maybe a hope. But before it get better, it gotta get worse. Because, you know, the people that's on top, they're not gonna stop. So the only way this gonna change until nature fully takes
all its gold out of America. Between July 2025 and January 2026, the Banque de France sold every single ounce of its gold stored at the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, all 129 tons, replaced with equivalent bullion purchased in Europe. France's full 2,437 tons of gold now sits entirely in Paris. Not one bar remains on American soil, and they made 13 billion euros doing it. France sold older bars at record high gold prices and bought higher purity replacements in Europe, turning a 7.7 billion euro loss in 2024 into an 8.1 billion euro profit in 2025. The official reason? A quality upgrade. The actual reason? Read the timing. This happened as Trump tore up the transatlantic alliance, slapped tariffs on European allies, and threatened to leave NATO. Now gold has overtaken the euro as the world's second largest reserve currency. The dollar fell 11% in 2025 alone, its worst performance since 1973. Germany still has 1,236 tons sitting in New York. Political pressure to bring it home is building. No decision yet. But France didn't wait for a decision. France acted. This is no longer just monetary policy. This is Europe quietly preparing for a world where the dollar is no longer the...
What's going on? Which that's what's happening, right? The universe has a way to deal with people. Everybody just want to chill. Most people just want to take care of their family or chase their dreams. But you can't have that. Not on this earth. You consistently got to worry about something not going your way. You wake up today, you're thinking about everything else that can happen wrong, which is not good. So that's mental stress, especially if you don't know how to handle that stress. It's going to bubble up, right? And some people get mad every day. That's not good. You building up a lot of negative pressure. That's how you get cancer. day. That's not good. But you know, with all that's going on, and gas prices going up, the job market, a whole lot of plazas and jobs are closing down. Even the malls where we used to shop at, closing down. It's crazy. I think some of them, they trying to build
Every single time we were in a position of power, it's because there were a few Jews that were lending money to the Goyim, and many times it happened that they charged them high rates, and the Goyim got angry, and they revolted. Why? Nobody wants to pay the high interest. So what do? Instead of paying the interest, they kill you. Simple. All of the Jewish people, they are part of creating the next Holocaust that's coming to America. They are creating the next Holocaust that's coming to America. Why? History shows us what we've done, what transpired. What we've done, what transpired, what we're doing, and what's transpiring.
That's about, but you know, with the incoming war, it's just gonna make a dramatic exchange of event and history. Everything will change, which we do need to change, because it's not gonna get better. You give these people 100 more years, they're just gonna keep doing the same.
Say you haven't signed the NPT. People watching at home will laugh their heads off. You're basically saying, because we didn't sign an international treaty, we don't have to follow international law. So then why doesn't Iran just pull out of the NPT? Why doesn't everyone just pull out of the NPT and do what Israel did? You say Israel reserves the right to defend itself. That old chestnut. No other country in the Middle East is allowed to defend itself. Israel is the country that bombed, count them, 6 countries in the Middle East last year. I can't think of a single country on planet Earth, aside from the US and Israel, that bombed half a dozen countries in the calendar year 2025. That is your country that you're defending, a rogue nation that bombs whoever it sees fit and then claims to be a victim. You say that, for example, you mentioned in your comments, you said 1967 we were attacked. Complete flat falsehood. Israel attacked first in 1967. Everyone knows that. It's a documented fact. You can call it a preemptive war, but you can't just lie on here and say you were attacked. You were not. You said that Iran pioneered the use of terrorism in the Middle East. Actually, that was the Zionist gangs. That was the Stern Gang and the Irgun who blew up British diplomats, bombed the King David Hotel, hung British sergeants, attacked British civilians and military and Arabs. It was actually Jewish and Zionist terror gangs that pioneered terrorism in the Middle East 100 years ago.
You know, most of y'all got false hope. Cause you still believe in the system. You still believe in it. Some of y'all still believe because, I don't know, y'all still collecting benefits. So that's the last thing you want to rely on. But you got to ask yourself, what you going to do when it falls off, right? You got kids. You never have a way of means to look outside of the system. You never create a bond. You never created a bond of a support outside of the system. Always benefits you. So now that it's falling, you're scared. You don't want to let go. You don't want to believe. But it's happening. You don't want to get prepared. Why? Because you every weekend, you know, you at the club. So, you know what I'm saying? It's so long that you can fool yourself, but I let that be. So, yeah. So things will get worse before it get better. So y'all just get ready because it is getting hotter. All right, y'all?
I watched the Eagle slam into the lake. The Eagle slam into the lake.
Breaking news, 21st of April at around 6:30 in the evening. Iran has confirmed this afternoon that the Israeli Air Force and the American Air Force are thundering towards Iran as we speak. So any moment now, they will be hitting targets. I will keep you updated as soon as I know more.